This is Daily Treasures with words of comfort, encouragement, and hope from the Word of God. Here is Dr. Nick Venditti with today's devotional.
June 24. Seeking the Lord in Crisis. Welcome to Daily Treasures from the Word of God. Today's reading is Isaiah 37 through 40. Our lesson is from Isaiah 37:1. And when King Hezekiah heard it, he tore his clothes, covered himself with sackcloth, and entered the house of the Lord. There was a political and religious crisis in the time of King Hezekiah. People were wondering if they should surrender to King Sennacherib of Assyria. Others were wondering why the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did not intervene. Let's look at how King Hezekiah responded upon receiving the threatening message from Sennacherib. First, Hezekiah heard the report. In the days of King Hezekiah, the Assyrian Empire was the major world power. Assyria had conquered many nations greater than Judah. Now the Assyrians sent ambassador Rabshakeh to Jerusalem. Rabshakeh compared the Lord with the false gods who did not deliver any of the other nations now under the control of Assyria. The leaders, following the instructions of King Hezekiah, listened in silence to the Assyrian ambassador. Next, Hezekiah tore his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth. The public humiliation plus the threat of servitude to Assyria was too much for King Hezekiah to bear. So he tore his clothing, which was a sign of mourning and great pain. He was at a crossroads. Should he give in to the Assyrians, who were more powerful? If not, what would happen to the nation? The next part of the story demonstrates that Hezekiah did the right thing. Finally, Hezekiah entered the house of the Lord. The king realized that he needed the counsel of the Lord. Instead of depending on his own resources, the king cried out to God. First, he took the letter from King Sennacherib and extended it before the Lord, as if to leave it all in the hands of the Lord. The prophet Isaiah brought the king a comforting word, that God was pleased that Hezekiah had come to him. The message stated that Jerusalem would not fall to the Assyrians. And so it was. Through a divine intervention, the invading army was destroyed. King Sennacherib later was killed by his two sons. God took vengeance into his own hands and gave the victory to King Hezekiah. In summary, King Hezekiah heard the report. King Hezekiah tore his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth. And King Hezekiah entered the house of the Lord. Let's learn to imitate King Hezekiah. No matter what the crisis, allow yourself to express your thoughts and emotions to the Lord. Like Hezekiah, bring your needs to Him. By doing so, we can be assured of the victory because the battle belongs to the Lord, not us. He is able to help us in our times of trials and difficulties, just like He did for Israel. It has been a pleasure to share with you daily treasures from the Word of God. Tomorrow's Bible reading is Isaiah 41 through 44. Let's not forget the words of the psalmist. The law of your mouth is better to me than thousands of gold and silver pieces. Until tomorrow, and may God bless you in abundance as you study the Word of God.